Greetings again, my people of the tarot. So here I am at my spinning wheel, and I'm going to show you how I thread it. This is a little piece of copper wire I made. Has a little handy dandy hook. So I stick that through here, out my hole. That's why you like it bendable, so you can get it through. And then I hook, I don't know if you can see that, hook the yarn on there, and then hopefully pull it back through, and then I'm all ready to go. And I want to show you something now. When I'm spinning to make a single ply, that means I'm taking the raw roving and I'm going to spin it to make yarn. I go in a clockwise direction like that. But when I'm ready to ply, what I do, I'm going to pull that back out, is I spin in a counterclockwise direction. So that's a good way to, and there's a proper name for it, but I can't remember that. Now, I just finished showing you this blob and how I'm going to take one end and then the other end, and I'm going to ply together. And I'm going to show you how I do that. First, I stick it under my armpit when I start, so I can get that started. That way I don't lose it. Right? Now, and I just told you I'm going to spin in a counterclockwise direction. Now, I want to hold this tight too. So, what I found came in handy for me is, so see, now I'm putting a spin on it. I don't think you can see my hand back here. Let me get it started a little. Now here's a little spot where I get it a little thick, and what we do with that is, while I'm spinning it this way, I can pluck some of that off, but I see that's where I joined it. So, but what I've found really comes in handy is knowing how to handle, I see, can't really see that, can you? But it's spinning, and I got two pieces. I know what I need to do. Let me stop and see if I can just bring it. There we go. That way I think you'll still see it going on, and you can see my hand. I'll try to keep it down here. So I got the, see, and I keep it, I need to keep this tight. I'm getting a little too tight here. So that will, those two will spin. And they just kind of let it roll out. I mean, I keep it taut. I got a little finger on there. And I got this. There is a way I've done it where, like if you were holding two reins, like if you were riding a horse and you had double reins, and then sometimes that works, especially when I'm doing just two balls. That works really good too. But the main thing is to keep it nice and snug as I ply it. Let's see here, there's a little bit, and you can just pluck some of that off. Some of the extra. And that will blend right in. Let's get that over here. If you got something that's way too big than the rest of it. Yeah, see, you can see that. And you can see how that's coming together. There's another piece that has a sometimes this happens and sometimes it doesn't. See, just pluck a little bit off of it. It's not going to go anywhere because it's already been spun. And that just thins it out a bit so it blends in a lot better. Blends in a lot better with the rest of it. I'll show you how I do other plies too. That I want to get that stretched, keep that really nice and tight so I can do it with this way. Tension is very important. That I keep the right hand keeps very tense. And I like a nice tight ply. I know some people spin loose, but I like it nice and tight. It just knits better, it crochets better. You don't get the, you know, if you don't hand spun, if you don't ply it tight enough together, then you end up knitting and crocheting with getting your needles in between the yarn, and that's no fun. So I like a really nice tight together ply. And usually most hand spun yarn is 2-ply. There, I'm going to show you an easy 3-ply at another time. And also, I haven't forgot about herbs. They'll be coming up soon, and I'll get out and I'll do a herb walk. And I still want to do some live interactions, probably on FB, because I haven't figured out. Plus, I can go outside with my tablet. I can get quite a ways away. And the Wi-Fi, I can still pick up the Wi-Fi. And we can do some discussions outside. If I don't get carried away by bugs, you know. That could happen too. Now, I also have to switch my legs. So you want to stay in balance. Some people just do the same leg. I train myself because I know about balance. So I train myself right off the bat to switch my legs, so that I wouldn't have, you know, a lot of discomfort because of just using one leg. I actually took a timer in the beginning, and I timed 5 minutes on one leg, 5 minutes on the other leg, and it has worked for me really well. Just move this slightly. And it's not that hard to do either. It really isn't. So I show you on this other leg. And I think one side I go a little bit faster on. I think the left leg I tend to go a little bit faster. Good thing I don't drive my car with my left leg. Might be like, meow, there she goes. That wasn't as tight as I wanted it. There's also a red. We just went through some red here that is made, chenille, I think it's called, pronounced. And it is made from bugs. Now the bugs are supposed to die naturally. And that's how it's supposed to be collected. So I'm going to redo that there. I didn't like want it to be a little tighter. They eat off of the prickly pear cactus. And then when they die, And then their bodies are full of this red pigment, which makes a wonderful dye. And I haven't worked with that yet because I do a lot of wild harvesting. I use St. John's wort. I have used mint. I have used mugwort. I have used leaves from the trees. I have used bark from the trees. They cut down they go along the power lines and they cut down trees, right? And so they were going right by my house and they cut down a couple of elms and I had them give me the elm tree and I stripped the bark off it to dye with it. I saved the bark, but it doesn't do as well. It does it better when it's fresh. But, you know, the tree was going to be chipped anyway. So I just took it for my dye. I did a pear tree. I pruned our pear tree we have. But it had spikes on it. And I got spiked. And I'm like, I don't think I'll do that again. That was not worth it. I mean, I got a nice dye out of it, the bark and everything. But it's not worth getting bit from a tree over. And I didn't really take any. I just pruned it, you know. Because you have to prune the lower branches so you can mow around the tree. So, but it still didn't like it. It spiked me. What else have I used? So leaves. So I've used leaves. I've used bugleweed, which we have a whole mass of that out back. I did buttercups, but let me tell you, the buttercups is a lot of work. Now here's a real big blob right there, and I'm going to show you. And even if I break it, it's all right because I can put it back together. But see how I'm peeling off here because I hadn't spun in a while when I did this spinning. And see how that thinned it out? I'm going to take just a little bit more off here. Make it a little bit thinner. There we go. See, now that's going to blend in a lot better. And it will barely show when in the finished product. Now I might. So I'm just going to show you this much more. Oh gosh, I got another blob. Like I said, I hadn't spun when I did this, and some of it was quite sticky, which means it didn't pull apart that easily. So I ended up with some blobs, which is okay. Because like I said, it's not going to really show what I just did there. It's not going to show in the finished product. If it does, then you know it's hand spun yarn. You know, I'm not a machine. It's not going to be exactly perfect. Some people like the thick and thin yarn, and I did some, and it was hard to do when you're not used. When you want to make it thick, and it doesn't come out thick, then it's kind of like, oh, well, it didn't work the way I wanted. So. And it doesn't take long to do this. I'm actually going slow here compared to what I normally do. Number one, because I haven't done it in a while. And number two, I'm filming. I'm typing. So, I'm going to close for here. We'll let this come to a stop, and I'll let you see what that looks like right now. And then there's more processes of it that I have to do. So I've been trying to show you guys all the processes that I go through to make yarn. So over and out for now. Talk to you soon.